This, President Trump. Now, he tweeted first thing this morning on trade, and here is that tweet. Canada has treated our agricultural business and farmers very poorly for a very long period of time, highly restrictive on trade. They must open their markets and take down their trade barriers. They report a really high surplus on trade with us. Do timber and lumber in U.S. That's the president's tweet. And here he is, Larry Kudlow, National Economic Council Director. Larry, great to see you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stu. Appreciate it.
Okay, you just heard the president's tweet. Pretty strong stuff on tariffs and trade. And I'm looking at a headline in the Financial Times which says U.S. fires first shots in trade war with allies. Is it a trade war?
It is not. It is not. It is a trade dispute, and it's a trade dispute among family members, and all the doors are open, all the communication lines are open. That, by the way, was in the statement yesterday. We are continuing to discuss all these areas, whether it's steel or agriculture or NAFTA. The same is true with Europe. Discussions are ongoing. Whether these tariffs are finalized or not, I don't want to predict. But I will just say the president wants fairness and he wants reciprocity. Those are two key principles. And I really like the part that you read, I assume that was the president, that he would like to open markets and lower barriers. I can't tell you how important that approach is. So if you lower barriers, hang on, let me get this point out. If you lower barriers and open the door for American exports, we are the most competitive country in the world, as a recent survey just said. We will sell them tons. Tons and tons, whatever it may be, industrial, automobiles, farming, and so forth. That is the best way. That is the best way, not only for an even playing field, but to create economic growth. That's precisely what the president wants.
Larry,
we're just asking that these countries play ball with us.
You're using the tariffs as leverage. That's what it is, isn't it? You're acquiring leverage by the threat of tariffs. That's what's going on, right?
Well, I would just say, I might put it slightly differently, Stu. I would just say that when you have these complicated trade negotiations, part of it and part of the president's quiver is going to be tariffs, whether we like it or not. As you know, tariffs, not my favorite thing. But he has to use them in order to achieve the goal of leveling the playing field and bringing down these barriers that we just talked about and creating fair, equal trading conditions to help the American country and its workforce. And by the way, I'm a believer, if you move toward free trade, which is what the president wants, told me that a million times, and you can get these barriers reduced, and you can end the unfairness, and in China's terms, for heaven's sakes, end the illegal activities, we will help the United States, we will help the entire world economy. That's so important. The trading system is a fossil. It's a dinosaur. It needs to be reformed. Donald Trump is shaking the tree like he always does. He means it. I mean, it's funny. I think about this and I say, you know what? When he says these things, believe him. Please, believe him. He's deadly serious. And he may go down in history as the best trade reformer in I don't know how many years, 50 or 100 years. The trading system needs help. He wants to change it. He wants to make it fair. He wants to make it reciprocal. And he wants to help American workers, which I think will help the rest of the world.
Okay, we gave you an open field there to just go at it on trade, and Larry, we appreciate that. Let's turn to the economy. I think it was a pretty strong jobs report this morning, but I want to move further than that. Look at the second quarter of this year, the quarter that we are now in. After that pretty strong jobs report, a lot of people are talking about a 4% annualized growth rate in the second quarter. What say you?
Well, I agree with you. By the way, yesterday, this morning's job report was first rate, 223,000 jobs, unemployment rate ticking down, wages actually ticking up a bit. The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta has a model. It's called GDP Now. They're predicting 4.7% in the second quarter. That is not our view. We would be thrilled to get 3% plus, but I just think it's interesting. They're looking at the same data. We had very strong consumer spending yesterday in the personal income report. We had very low inflation. These are ideal situations. The incentives, Stu, the incentives You know, people yelled at me, and they yelled at the president, they yelled at Kevin Hassett, and whatever. Lower tax rates, rollback of regulations, encourage and incentivize business and workers, keep more of what they earn, fatter paychecks. Listen, this stuff is working. We were told it wouldn't work. I know it's early in the game. I accept that. But right now, a year plus into it, it's working. We're already almost at 3%. People said we couldn't do it. So I'm pleased. I'm thrilled that this stuff is happening.
Okay, you're bullish, I can tell. Big smile there, lad. Well done. Now, I got to raise this issue. I do apologize for raising it. I got to do it. The president sent a tweet about the jobs report before it came out this morning. Austin Goolsbee says if the president just tipped that the numbers are good, he broke the law. You want to deal with that? Deal with it fast, please.
I'm sorry. First of all, by law and custom, the CEA gets the numbers the night before. The CEA gives it to the NSC, NEC. That's Kevin Hassett and Larry Kudlow. It's my call whether to alert the president or not. A major number like this, I did get hold of him on Air Force One, let him know. I looked at the tweet he said this morning. I don't think he gave anything away. I mean, the number was, you know, pretty close to consensus, maybe a little better. He didn't use the number.
No, he just said he was looking forward to it.
Yeah, every other American or people that follow this is looking forward to the jobs report. So breaking the law, my friend Austin's gone way too far on that. He's president of the United States. He likes to tweet. He likes to talk to people around the country. Let him. Let him.
He likes to talk to people around the country. He likes to tweet. Sir, that is the understatement of the decade, and I think you know it. You look like you're having fun, Larry, even though we are told that you're at odds with some of the other trade people. Look, Peter Navarro had an article in the USA Today today, and he seems to be pretty strong in favor of these tariffs. Protectionism. He says that's the way we rebuild our manufacturing base. You don't agree with that, do you?
Well, look, first of all, I am having fun. I love this job, and I'm honored to have it. Second of all, Peter Navarro is a very old personal friend of mine, and we remain personal friends. I see him all the time. Used to be a regular on the Kudlow Report on another network. Sorry, Stu.
Another network. Oh, please.
With respect to Peter's views, you know, he and I agree and we disagree. That's about all I can say. That makes for a healthy conversation.
But the president is the great decider. He says what we're doing on trade. That's it. Right?
He is the boss. He is the arbiter. He is the decision maker. You got that right. And you know what? You have these jobs, no matter how fancy the title might be, he is the decision maker. POTUS is the guy who makes policy. That's all.
Can I just go back to trade for a second? When we talk about trade, we're talking about tariffs and the import and export of goods and services. Got it. But also part of the discussions with China, a major part, is their theft of intellectual property and their seizure of our technology through these joint ventures, the pressure to get all of our technology. Where's the progress there? Because that's never mentioned.
Well, look, We've made a lot of progress on the commodities and industrial materials, so that's good. It may not be good enough, but you're quite right. On the technology area, we've not made progress, and I think the president is increasingly impatient about that very point. Now, on the forced transfer of technology, which you mentioned, I've always believed one of the keys, it's a complex issue, but one of the keys is the Chinese government has got to let the United States companies own their companies. Okay? Not 49%, but 51%, or 55%, or better yet, 100%. Because there's a big shakedown going on over there. If they own in a joint venture, they own our company, they force these companies to put their whole blueprint on the table, Stu. And that includes the technology aspects, and that's where the theft comes from. That's not the only place. But that's a key issue. They have not responded yet in any satisfactory way. We've had private conversations, but so far nothing official. And on the other side, regarding the theft of technology and sensitive technology, look, we must protect our family jewels. And that was part of the statement that came out a couple of days ago. We must do that because what America does best is invent, apply, and commercialize new technologies. that move our economy forward faster than any other economy in the world, that create more jobs for everybody all across the country than any other place in the world. We cannot let China come here and steal our technology. So we got to protect ourselves.
Larry,
listen to what the president said. My mantra this morning is believe the president. Believe what he says.
Last one, a time frame. Do you think that by the end of this year, and we're talking 6 months away, do you think we'll have wrapped up NAFTA negotiations, wrapped up a deal with Europe, wrapped up a deal with China? I mean, get it all done this year. Possible?
All things are possible, Stuart. I don't want to put any timetable at all. All I'll say is that all those conversations are going on, all of them going on. Things could change. We will see. No timetable. Look, to our friends in Europe, to our friends in Canada and Mexico, talk to us and work with us. We are not making awful demands. We are being pragmatic. All right? Treat us the way we treat you. This issue of reciprocity that the president talks about is so important. Help us on our national defense with respect to steel production. All right? Open your markets so the greatest, most competitive economy in the world, the USA, can export and export and export. That's the growth formula. Export, open markets, open investment. If to do that, we'll have a great conversation. We can get a lot of things done. When? That's a great esoteric existential question, Stu Varney.
Don't use those big words on me, Larry Kudlow. Come on. You know, you're one of the best. When it comes to ad-libbing about the economy and money and markets, you are the best in the business. Broadcasting misses you, Larry. It misses you.
Thank you, Stu. And I miss seeing you. Hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Larry Kudlow, everyone. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you being with us.